One recording.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Thank you all. I am Adriana Ticonipa Gutierrez. I am from La Paz, Bolivia. I am Woman Techmaker Ambassador, and I am part of this amazing community, Woman Plus in Firebase. Today, I'm going to talk about my experience in the Firebase Summit, and as you see, is Woman Plus in Firebase in the Firebase Summit. I want to start with this motto that identifies me, that is the education and the cultural identity are the best tools to make a better world. I consider that with education, we can change the life of many people and also we can inspire to make a better world. Also, as you see, I am with my flag. I really love my country. I love my culture. I think that is very important know where we are from to know where we are going. So I will start. I will talk about my path with Firebase, how I started with the community Woman Plus in Firebase, and how I had the opportunity to be in the Firebase Summit. Yeah, I want to start with this. I think that is very important that we can use the technology to make a better world. I live in a country that is Bolivia, and it's amazing. I love my country, but there is a problem. We have a lot of natural risks like landslide. So I decided in my project degree, made a prototype. I did a monitoring system for the detection of landslides in order to prevent landslides, in order to take actions, preventive actions, and in order to avoid human losses and material damage. So that's the reason I started with this project. And I will, for me, this was a little difficult because I had to work in the hardware, in the software, and especially in the software, I was not a developer, and I didn't have knowledge related to backend. So that was a little difficult. So I remember that I was in the community, GDG La Paz, I was volunteer, so I asked for some recommendations. They recommended me Firebase. That was the first time that I heard Firebase because I remember that was in 2019, but Firebase has existed more earlier. But I didn't hear Firebase didn't have a lot of promotion in my country, so I remember that I started looking information for Firebase, so I arrived to the page of Firebase, and it was the best Firebase.google Firebase.google.com, and it was the best. It helped me a lot. So I started my project, and I built my first prototype IoT prototype with Firebase. I used many functionalities of Firebase because I needed to capture the data, storage the data. Also, I need to visualize the data, analyze the data. There were many things. So I used different functionalities of Firebase. I use authentication for security. I use a real-time database in that time. After that, I use cloud functions to analyze the data. I use to send alerts, to send emails, and also to send SMS in, with Twilio, but I didn't use in that time extensions. Now you can use extension because you have extension with Twilio, with SendGrid, so it's more easier. In that time, I only used cloud functions, and then I use Firebase hosting. So really, Firebase helped me a lot. So that's the reason I am part of this community, Woman Plus in Firebase. I am very grateful with Firebase because it helped me a lot. So I wanted to talk also about my root path with Firebase, how I started and how I became part of the community Woman Plus in Firebase. I started as volunteer, then I become organizer, then lead organizer of my community GDG La Paz and Woman Techmaker La Paz, and now I am part of founder of the community Woman Plus in Firebase. Actually, I started with my first meetup. That was you can see here I am with the hand raised, I don't know, and that was my first meetup. I didn't know that was in my last year. in 2019 when I did the project degree, and I met Janet, that was the lead organizer in that time, and she invited to be part of this community. So here started my career as as volunteer. I be part of the event International Woman Day that happened in my university, Escuela Militar de Ingeniería, and that was a great experience. I met a lot of people, and that was I think that is a point very important in my history as all my path that I passed it. So thanks to this event, I remember that they invited to me to be part of lead organizer, but I didn't have time in that time because I was focused on my project degree. But then I remember that by the end of the year, I give my first talk. I talk about Firebase, the integration with Firebase, Flutter, and Arduino, because I did a prototype IoT and I use these tools. Also, I did something with Angular, but that was my first talk, and I really enjoyed that because I love sharing my knowledge. I'm not expert, but I think that the best way to learn is sharing your knowledge. So that was my first talk, and then I started organizing events. I remember that my first event was Firebase as a Joker card. That was the first event that I organized, and I focus on Firebase because Firebase really helped me a lot. And I know that Firebase has a lot of functionalities, and you can use in different platforms. So that was my first, and I remember in this meetup that I was looking for speakers that talk about Firebase and talk in Spanish, but I couldn't find it. And I looked it for we have a platform of Google that you can look for experts, and I found Laura. I remember that I wrote her, but she was a little busy, and she told me that she could the next event. So the next event, I was lead organizer of my community, GDG La Paz and Women Techmakers. And the first event that I organized was Internet de las Cosas, Internet of Things, Yaticanyani. Yaticanyani means learning in Aymara, that is a original language in Bolivia. So I invited her, and I had, as you see, was very difficult find girls that give talks. So here I have a lot of girls. I invited to Natalia Alarcón, Leslie Serna, Laura Morinigo, other friends, and also about this event was very important because it focused how we can use the technologies of Google to build IoT apps. So after that, I met Laura, and then I remember that it was in 2021, and Laura posted in LinkedIn. She posted like if someone was interested to be part of a Firebase project. And I think that I said I would like to because I know Firebase, but I was a little scared because the impostor syndrome. So I didn't know if I can write here. So I postulated on that project, and now I remember that I received an email, and Laura accepted us me as Canis to be part of this new project. We didn't know what was about the project. I remember that was very curious, and we started with Laura and Canis. The project was to start a new community about Firebase, and I say yes. And I think that it was the best decision to found a new community about a technology that helped me a lot, that is Firebase. So I present you Woman Plus in Firebase, a community that started with Canis Fatima. She's from Pakistan, and Laura Morinigo, she's from Argentina, and she actually works in London. So actually we started in September, but our anniversary is in November 17. So I will talk a little about Firebase. Women Plus in Firebase is a worldwide community of people whose gender identity is either female or non-binary and are passionate about Firebase. Our goal is to communicate, share, and encourage the exchange of knowledge between newbies, enthusiasts, developers, project leaders, and organizations that identify as women and non-binary people interested in Firebase. This opened the doors because we had the opportunity to be in an event that was my first event, international event that I was part. That was called Firebase Summit Better Together, and that was my first talk in English. I don't talk English. That was for me. I think that is very difficult for me, but I really enjoyed that, and that was a great experience being part of this community. So I want to share with you that we have celebrated our first year as community this November 17. As you can see, that was our first meetup on November 17. We had a Renuka and Miriam, Andrea Wu, and different women, amazing women, and that was a great experience. But I wanted to talk about this because in this community, we not only have the opportunity to share our knowledge or to learn more about Firebase, also we have the opportunity to meet people around the world. And this is the best experience that I had because thanks to this, I had opportunity to be in the Firebase Summit. Thanks to the Women Techmakers and thanks to the Woman Plus in Firebase, I had opportunity to be in that event. For me, it was a dream because I only see that the last years in virtual, but that was a great experience. They give us the opportunity to be in this event. So that are the pictures that I had. I say Bolivia was present in the Firebase Summit. You met this. I think that it is an event that you had the opportunity to learn more about Firebase, to see the demos in live, to reach people that are of the Firebase team, also to meet people around the world. I met different persons. That was I really love that experience. So I have here some pictures. Also, we had opportunity to have a meeting with the Women Techmakers. That I love that meetup because they give us they recommended us that we have to be in a place that we are ourselves. So we are we are we. I don't know how to explain, but I hope that you can understand me. So that was a great experience. And the last, I finished my talk, and I really want to invite you to be part of this community because it's a great experience to learn, to share your knowledge, to be part of a global community. I think that most of the people, like you are experts, you should be in this community because you have the power of share your knowledge to inspire more people. Also, if you don't know anything about Firebase, you should be part of this community because sorry my Spanish my Spanish because I think that you should be of this community because it's going to help you to give a panorama of how you can use Firebase in different projects. And I think for me, it's very important to use the technology to make a better world. So I wanted to invite you in our future events. We are going to have Code Labs, hackathons, monthly events, and study groups. Be part of this community and don't forget to register in our meetup. We are as Woman Plus in Firebase. Also, we have we have different social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and you can follow. No, we are starting, but we have a lot of energy to do it. So thank you very much. And also, I want to share that I am Woman Techmaker Ambassador. I didn't share with you, but I was in 2021. That was the best experience that I had. So thank you for listening. And I really want to invite you to be part of this community. And also you can follow me in my social media. I am in LinkedIn, Twitter, GitHub, Facebook, and Instagram. So thank you, and I really want that. I really appreciate that. Listen to me. Thank you, Laura. Thank you all.